In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
What's up, Berserk fans? I am John of Video Games in the World. Berserk is one of my most favorite long-running mangas and also one of my most favorite dark fantasy anime. It's so dark, gritty, philosophical most times, and I love it! The Berserk manga was created by Kentaro Miura in 1988. And then, 9 years later, the 1997 anime was created. The 1997 anime is a great start to get into the world of Berserk. If you like the 25 episode anime, then I am sure that you will love the manga. The manga would spawn, like I said, a 25 episode anime series in 97, which I really loved. There was also a 3-part OVA movie released in 2012 that took place during the Golden Age arc. And it also spawned 3 video games such as Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage on the Dreamcast, Berserk, Falcon of the Millennium Empire on the PS2, and on the PS4 and Xbox One, Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, which is like Dynasty Warriors. So what exactly is the story of Berserk? Berserk tells a story of a lone swordsman named Guts, who carries an enormous sword larger than he is and fights with a repeating crossbow. He is known as the Black Swordsman and is hunting down demon-like creatures known as apostles with the intent to eradicate them all. Before he was a Black Swordsman, he had a very harsh upbringing as he was raised to be a mercenary warrior. He would later become part of a mercenary band known as the Band of the Hawk, led by its charismatic leader named Griffith. This is a story full of darkness, tragedy, and a journey that leaves a trail of bloodshed. I was hoping Kentaro Miura would someday end the series with a bang, but when he passed away last year, we all feared that the Berserk manga would end in a cliffhanger. In the words of Stephen Amell, fuck cancer. Foul language, but necessary. So, I just read right now that Berserk is going to continue even without Miura-san. The editing department of Hakusensha's Young Animal magazine and manga creator Koji Mori announced that the Berserk manga by the late Kentaro Miura will continue beginning with this year's 13th issue of Young Animal on June 24th. This announcement came from the company's editorial department and from Koji Mori are available in English. This is a message that Koji Mori has for the fans of Berserk. I have a message and I promise to everyone I will recall the details as much as possible and tell the story. Also, I will only write the episodes that Miura talked to me about. I will not flesh it out. I will not write episodes that I don't remember clearly. I will only write the lines and stories that Miura described to me. Of course, it will not be perfect. Still, I think I can almost tell the story that Miura wanted to tell. The manga will first have 6 chapters and will go to the end of the Fantasia arc, Elf Island chapter, with a new arc beginning afterward. To me, Berserk is like a combination of Dark Souls and Game of Thrones all in one. After watching the 1997 anime, I immediately decided to give the manga a reading since it didn't do the complete Black Swordsman arc except in the first episode. I was first introduced to Berserk in 2015 through a friend of mine from college, and I enjoyed it ever since. I wish I was introduced to it a lot earlier than that. I first saw the OVA movies and then the 1997 anime, but I like the 1997 anime more than the OVA movies, that 3-part movie of the Golden Age arc, which is The Egg of the King, The Battle for Doldry, and The Advent. The way the 1997 anime ended, oh my god. Oh my god. I ain't saying nothing. And I hated the 2016 anime because although it started out with a Black Swordsman arc, so much of it was scrapped as it jumped immediately to the Conviction arc. Oh my god. I really didn't finish the whole thing. So, I took to reading the manga instead. And I found so many differences between the anime and the manga. The manga is such a golden gem. There are certain things about the manga that I truly enjoyed, such as exploring more of the tragic story of Guts as we flashback to his birth, training under Gambino, and all the pain and suffering he endured, which can make you empathize. The Golden Age arc was phenomenal on how Guts ends up joining the Band of the Hawk after his duel with Griffith, the evolution of his relationship with Casca, which starts as mutual hostility and later evolving into love, his departure from the Hawks, his return, the eclipse, and then journeying to kill apostles and get his revenge on the God Hand and the one man who took everything from him. I love the artwork of the manga, of how it takes place in the medieval world. The character writing, designs, and development are fantastic, and I love how dark and gritty it is. Some fights are a bit too simple, but others were very well done. At first it's a bit hard to understand, but as the story goes on, you get so hooked on the manga and also on the 1997 anime. Like I said, the way the 1997 anime ends, which is a Golden Age arc, OMG. I'm not saying anything because its climax is so crazy. Game of Thrones is a day at the beach compared to this epic story. So, what do you think about the continuation of Berserk? Comment, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. I am John of Video Games in the World. Have a good one. Later.